Have you ever wondered about the value of a human life and what happens when it's treated as dispensable? Let's delve into a story that questions this very notion, the story of Dexter Wade. Dexter was a man of 37 years hailing from Jackson, Mississippi. His life was unexpectedly and tragically cut short when he was fatally struck by a police cruiser. This incident, as horrifying as it was only the beginning of a series of unfortunate events that left Dexter's family in a state of shock and despair. Imagine the anguish of a family who, instead of being informed about such a devastating incident, had to discover it on their own. The police department, who should have been the first to notify them, remained silent. The pain of losing a loved one was amplified by the bitter surprise and the feeling of disrespect towards Dexter's life. Dexter, a man who had a family, dreams, and a life full of potential, was reduced to a mere statistic, a casualty in a report, his death treated as an incident rather than a life-shattering event for his loved ones. His family was left to grapple with the harsh reality, one where their beloved Dexter was no more, and they weren't even granted the courtesy of a proper goodbye. In their hearts, a whirlwind of emotions raged. Confusion, sadness, anger, and an overwhelming sense of injustice. They were left to question, why were they not informed? Why was their beloved Dexter's life treated with such seeming insignificance? This tragic event shone a glaring spotlight on the harsh reality of life's fragility and the devastating effects of its unjust dismissal. It also raised questions about the responsibility and accountability of those in power, those who are meant to protect us yet sometimes become the cause of our greatest pain. The family was left in the dark, unaware of Dexter's tragic and untimely death. This line not only marks the end of our first scene, but also the beginning of a quest for justice, a journey to make sure that Dexter's life, like so many others, isn't brushed under the rug of oblivion. When does a tragedy become even more tragic? When it's shrouded in silence and secrecy. These are not just words, but a harrowing reality for Dexter Wade's family. Imagine losing a loved one and not knowing about it until much later. This is the silent tragedy they had to face, a pain that's hard to fathom, let alone bear. Dexter, a vibrant man of 37, was allegedly struck down by a police cruiser in Jackson, Mississippi. But the blow that killed him was only the beginning of the family's ordeal. The real shock came later when they discovered that Dexter had been laid to rest in a potter's field, a public graveyard for the unknown or unclaimed. No one had informed them. No one had consulted them. Dexter was gone, and his family was left grappling with this harsh reality. They were denied the chance to mourn him properly, to say their last goodbyes, to offer him the dignity in death that every human being deserves. Instead, they were left to uncover the truth piece by piece, a jigsaw puzzle of grief and disbelief. His mother, his siblings, his friends, all were robbed of the opportunity to pay their respects, to share memories, to find some semblance of closure. Instead, they were met with a wall of silence, a void where there should have been answers. The shock, the pain, the sorrow, it all compounded into a silent tragedy that echoes loudly in their hearts. What does it feel like to be denied a chance to grieve? To be robbed of the opportunity to say goodbye? It feels like a wound that never heals, a question that never gets an answer, a story that ends abruptly without a proper ending. Dexter was laid to rest without a word to his loved ones, a silent tragedy leaving a loud echo of pain. What do you do when the system that's supposed to protect you fails you? This question echoes in the hearts of Dexter Wade's family as they grapple with the tragic and sudden loss of their loved one. A dark cloud of injustice hangs over them, and their pursuit of truth has become a battle against a system that seems to have forgotten its purpose. The family's demand for a thorough investigation into the incident is more than a cry for answers, it's a call for accountability. They want to know what happened that fateful night, why Dexter was struck down by those who were supposed to protect him, and why they were kept in the dark about his untimely demise and unceremonious burial. Their determination to uncover the truth has fueled a relentless pursuit for justice. They have rallied support, challenged the authorities, and refused to be silenced. This fight is not just about seeking justice for Dexter, it's about exposing a system that seems to have lost sight of its duty to protect and serve. It's about ensuring that no other family has to endure the pain and uncertainty they have experienced. The lack of communication from the Jackson, Mississippi Police Department has added salt to their wounds. It's a stark reminder of the invisibility they feel in a system that should have been their sanctuary. This silence is not just an absence of words, it's a refusal to acknowledge their pain, their loss, their demand for truth. As they navigate through a maze of red tape and bureaucratic indifference, their resolve is unwavering. They demand answers, they demand accountability, they demand justice, not just for Dexter, but for every victim of a system that has seemingly gone astray. The Wade family's fight is a powerful reminder of the strength of the human spirit. It's a testament to their love for Dexter and their unwavering belief in justice. It's a fight they shouldn't have to fight, but one they refuse to back down from. Their demand for justice is not just about Dexter, it's about every life that could be casually disregarded. It's a call to action for us all. It's a reminder that when the system fails, it's up to us to stand up, speak out, and demand better. What happens when a cry for justice falls on deaf ears? Such is the lament of the Wade family, their pleas for answers met with a deafening silence. Dexter Wade, a man of 37 years, was allegedly fatally struck by a Jackson, Mississippi Police Department cruiser. Yet, the aftermath of this tragic incident has been marked by a troubling lack of response from those in power. The police department, the very institution that should be at the forefront of delivering justice, has thus far been unforthcoming. The family's requests for an explanation, for any semblance of accountability, have been met with evasion and indifference. The local authorities, too, have been conspicuously silent on the matter, leaving the family mired in uncertainty and grief. Yet, in the face of such adversity, the Wade family has not been alone in their struggle. The community has rallied around them, offering support and amplifying their call for justice. Neighbors, friends, strangers, they have all joined the chorus, their voices resonating in unison against the echoes of injustice. In solidarity, they march. In solidarity, they protest. They demand answers. They demand change. They demand justice for Dexter Wade. Their collective outcry has transformed from a whisper into a roar, a powerful testament to their unwavering resolve. Injustice has a way of rippling through a community, leaving behind echoes that cannot be silenced. Each echo is a reminder of the injustice endured, a call to action, a demand for change. And while the authorities may choose to ignore these echoes, they reverberate nonetheless, growing louder with each passing day. But these echoes are not just reminders of the past, they are also harbingers of a future where accountability is not an exception, but the rule, where the cries for justice do not fall on deaf ears, but prompt immediate action. Injustice leaves echoes that resonate within a community, a call for change that cannot be ignored. Who are the unseen victims of such a tragedy? The answer lies in the haunting silence of a home once filled with joy, now echoing with loss. The absence of Dexter Wade isn't just felt by his family, but by a community that has lost a member, a society that has lost a citizen. His mother, deprived of her son's laughter. His siblings robbed of their brother's guiding hand. His friends left with a void that can never be filled. The impact of this incident stretches far beyond the immediate circle of grief. It ripples outwards, touching every corner of the community. The local businesses that Dexter frequented are now haunted by his absence. The neighborhood football team misses its star player. Dexter's story becomes a whisper on everyone's lips, a shared sorrow that binds the community together in their quest for justice. But it's not just the community that feels the tremors of this injustice, it's also the countless others who, like Dexter, have been victims of similar tragedies. Those who have been struck down, their stories unheard, their justice unfulfilled. They are the unseen faces of this injustice. Their silent pleas for accountability become part of a chorus that grows louder with each passing day. The ripple effects of such an injustice are vast, touching every corner of society. It underscores the importance of holding those responsible accountable. For when justice is served, it sends a message that resonates with every member of society, reaffirming their faith in the system, restoring their belief in fairness. For Dexter's family, for his community, for society at large, this isn't just about seeking justice for one man. It's about demanding accountability, about standing up against injustice, about ensuring that no other family has to endure what they have. Justice may be blind, but it shouldn't be deaf. And the call for justice in this case is deafening.